Thank you very much, Sean, and thank you, Jim, and the Cameron Institute for inviting me to address the athletic department. Congrats to the other student athletes, Fernando, Catherine, Cameron, and Cameron. Super impressive. Proud of you, and proud to see what the university continues to turn out. Cal Athletics is special to me, not only because I participated, but because my dad was also an All-American basketball player, and he's in the Cal Athletics Hall of Fame. I grew up a Cal Bear. I graduated from Cal in 1999. I was named CFO of Nike in February of last year. And along the way, I've worked in many different jobs with many different types of leaders. I've been able to learn from all of them, the good and the bad. Tonight, I'm going to briefly share a few elements of my personal leadership journey. I've only got about 8 minutes, so I got to do it quick. But then I'm going to close with 3 thoughts on leadership that I believe are critical for leaders today and tomorrow. And I'll also show you why as student athletes and an athletic department, you're uniquely positioned to have tremendous impact as representatives of Cal. I'm going to start with a baseline claim. Leadership isn't something you're born with. You have to work hard every day to be a leader that inspires people to follow you. In today's climate across business, society, and politics, leadership by example just isn't enough anymore. People are looking for more. I came to Cal in the fall of 1995. I was a 17-year-old kid, foolish, immature, and clueless about the broader world. No idea what I wanted to major in, and even less of an idea of what I wanted to do after I graduated. I made plenty of mistakes over these 4 years, but I became a man at Cal. My personal leadership story doesn't begin with amazing athletic accomplishment at the college level. I'm incredibly proud to have been a student athlete, but I can count the number of innings I pitched for Cal on one hand. I was asked to speak here tonight because what I've been able to accomplish since I graduated from Cal. And my personal leadership journey began with large-scale adversity while I was still at the university. When I was a sophomore, I hurt my arm in a preseason game. I tried to recover and keep playing, but I couldn't throw hard anymore. I knew my baseball career was over. And simultaneously, my dad had been fighting cancer for 13 years. And I knew I needed to spend as much time with him as I could whenever I could. Then when I was a junior, my dad died, and my world changed that year. I had a new perspective on how precious life is, and that I knew I wanted to make the most of it. Robert Frost wrote, "The best way out is always through." And I find this to be personally helpful to me to remember when I'm facing hard times. For me, my personal motto became make every day count. I tattooed it into my mind. I wanted to have a positive impact at whatever I put my mind to, and also on the people around me. I'm an optimist. There's no problem that I see that cannot be solved. I focus only on things that I can control, and it causes me to look for ways that I can positively impact others. But make no mistake, I've worked hard over the past 22 years. My work ethic was instilled early on, and its foundation was in my training for sport. My dad used to always say, hard work always pays off, sometimes with a little luck. So I knew I would have to earn it each and every day. Wake up early, prepare, and give it my best, and try to create value wherever I could. Knowing how to be a member of a team has been a great asset for me as well, and it will be one for all of you too. On a team, everyone plays a position. The team has a common set of goals to win. A team can honestly and transparently break down what's working and what isn't, and everyone is on board to change for the betterment of the team and the program. Teams are a community. Teams pool the talent of the individual in order to achieve greater success together. And after my first few years of working, I knew that I always wanted to be somewhere where I was part of a team. I told my team at the onset of COVID, I couldn't imagine being in the trenches with anyone else. One boss at Nike I adored always repeated the phrase, passion in is passion out. And what he meant was, if you put your passion into your particular work, the quality of what comes out the other side will be clear to all who see it. He was against going through the motions just to receive a paycheck. And I guarantee you that you will be more fulfilled and a more authentic leader if you can find purpose in what you do. I think this past year has made us all think a lot about our personal purpose. And I think that's a great thing for our country. Here's one last thought. For some reason, all my life in sports, I knew that losing and failure was how you grew. It was how you got better. You lose a game, you make a bad play, you learn from it, and you come back better the next time. But in the real world, all of a sudden, the thought of failure, if you let it, can create fear. What if they choose someone else over me for the next job? What if I make a mistake tomorrow? Before you know it, you stop taking risks. You lose your optimism about the future, and you start playing defense all the time. And I realized that that lesson was actually a paradox. Don't be afraid to acknowledge when you make a mistake. Process it, learn from it, and move on. Because all that really matters is what are you going to do about it tomorrow? So as I wrap up, I want to leave you with 3 thoughts on leadership that guide me and that I hope will help all of you as you look ahead to the future. And I heard this first one tonight, so it's great. First, leaders must have a growth mindset. Leaders should be curious. Leaders are always looking for ways to learn and to grow so that the team around them can grow. People want to follow leaders who help them grow. And leaders focus on what could be rather than just on how it is today. Second, leaders must be resilient. The environment we're living in right now is more volatile than I've experienced in my 22 years of working. Society is more polarized. People are carrying more weight and burdens, especially after persevering through this pandemic. But I believe people are looking for more than from their leaders. So you must be prepared by developing resilience. You might ask, well, how do I do that? You do it the same way you bounce back from a tough game. You pick yourself up quickly so that you can help others recover quickly when they're knocked down. And the last theme is a successful leader today must be selfless. Leadership today is not about who has the most power. It was when I started working, but it isn't anymore. Leaders are called to take care of those who they lead. They put the team before themselves. This gets talked about a lot, but when you see it in action, it's a beautiful thing. This is characterized by listening more than you talk, empathy to understand other people's situations, and then ultimately empowering people to be their best. Selfless leaders measure their success by how others grow around them, rather than their own merits. You are the next generation of leaders. You have an opportunity to have a tremendous impact on society and our culture. As athletes, you've been uniquely trained to deliver high performance in sport. But I hope you will come away from tonight realizing that as athletes and student athletes, you've been uniquely prepared to face the leadership challenges of tomorrow. Don't leave sport and time and team behind as you leave Cal. Cherish the memories and use the skills that you've been developing over your entire life to be a game changer more broadly in the world. Our collective recovery from the global pandemic is a shared opportunity for us all. We've all been living through large-scale adversity, and it's been hard, but you're human. It should impact you. You should be thinking about your values, thinking about what matters most to you, thinking about your community, and thinking about what your trajectory is going to be from here. But stay optimistic. It's one of my favorite lines. Stay optimistic, because our optimism for the future and your optimism for the future will ignite optimism in others. If I can be of any help to you, make sure to look me up on the other side of this chat. Thanks.